So very good evening, friends. This side Rahul Magan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. As we speak, Treasury Consulting Group is a multinational headquartered group based out India, Singapore, and Hong Kong. More importantly, we do have our offices in three parts of the globe, and we serving clients across the globe. As we speak, we own our proprietary hedge fund, which includes the equities desk, commodities desk, and many other stuff. We hold our own Sheetal Academy and lot. So we cannot cover treasury consulting in few minutes. So what we made is that at the end of the video, every video, we are uploading a separate video on treasury consulting. I repeat, at the end of every video, we are uploading a separate video on treasury consulting. In case you wish to have more information about us, you can refer that video. On time to time basis, we continue to update that video. Researching interest rate swap is just like researching on Lord Shiva. It is said that Lord Shiva is immortal, he is eternal, he is Avinashi, and he is known as the Lord of Lords. And that is why people call him Mahadev. If anyone believes that he knows about Lord Shiva, then it is mistaken because he is too big to understand, at least in one human life, and especially in today's world, Kali Yuga, when the human life is around 60 to 65, probably 70 maximum. Understanding Lord Shiva is very difficult. In fact, next to impossible. Gone are the days when in the Satyuga, rishis and maharishis, they used to live till 40,000 years, and maybe some rishis and maharishis live till 50,000 years. Yes, 50,000 years. And it may be possible to understand and meet the Mahadev at that point of time. He is too big to understand, eternal, immortal, Avinashi, and more importantly, Lord of Lords, known as Mahadev. Similarly, when we speak about finance, finance is too big, at least in this current human life of Kali Yuga. And especially after COVID-19, when the US government acknowledged publicly that the lifespan reduced by around 1.5 years, around 1.5 years. And we all know that as we speak, the Delta variant is continuously spreading across the globe. Rather, the US, the medical advisor to the president, Dr. Fauci, said that a more dangerous variant than Delta is on the way. So, in this, keeping all this as a backdrop, if we are expecting that any textbook in the world can cover interest rate swap, then I think this textbook is completely incorrect. I have seen many textbooks, foreign authors, Indian authors, and one standard interest rate swap is that somebody continue to pay fixed, somebody continue to pay floating. And they believe that the people who pay fixed, assuming it is on the higher side, they would continue to do. And the people, those who pay floating, assuming it is on the higher side, they would continue to do. This is interest rate swap as per textbooks. Simple. Just like we cannot conclude the Lord, he is immortal, eternal, pure, Avinashi, and more importantly, it's like, you know, next to impossible for a human being to understand the Lord, although everybody claim that they are close to the Lord. Similarly, in the financial market, People believe that they know everything, but they do not know that they even not scratch the earth. Even the top banks of the globe, they are not yet complete as far as the complete cycle of finance is concerned. With this, we start our video, which is on the interest rate swap. I hope you have noticed that at the back of the, our video, Thomson Reuters is working. This is our new way of making videos so that you have a glimpse of Thomson Reuters, because many youngsters, working professionals, they have not seen Reuters. And those who not seen Reuters, they tend to believe that there is nothing like Reuters. Since there is nothing like Reuters, so whatever a textbook is saying, it is the only thing left in the world. As simple as that. The following are the people who are strictly advised not to watch this video. Because if you are watching this video and your emotions get hurt, then we are not responsible. Because after watching this video, your students and your followers will definitely come to you and ask what the hell this person is talking about. Because what he is talking about, you not taught us. So I request the following people and the followers of following people should not watch this video. Number one, the textbook authors. Without quoting a specific name, I remember somewhere in 2010, I was in Chennai and I was invited as a speaker in a seminar. So when I was in Chennai, I met one of the so-called Indian authors who claims to write a very good book on finance. In his book, one of the lines is INR underscore USD equals to 75. And he believes that the meaning of this is one INR is $1 equal to 75 INR. So I repeat, it is like INR slash dollar equal to 75. And he strictly believes that, it means $1 equal to 75 INR. I asked him after this seminar, he was also the speaker. I asked him, sir, in your book, page number this, there is a mistake. I was really shocked that in front of many people, he said, you need to upgrade your knowledge. And if you are a true believer of financial market, you know what I'm talking about. And thousands of Indian students are reading his book every year. I'm not quoting the name. I hope you guess the name. Indian bankers. Started my career in 2007. And at that point of time, I used to believe that the bankers are aliens. Aliens means they are those who are highly literate and highly knowledgeable. In 2007, I was having a huge respect for bankers. In fact, I used to say to my mom, dad, every day before going to office that today there is a meeting with bankers. After 2008 financial scandal in the US, one by one financial scandal in the US, I really realized that how dirty is the banking world. And when I dealt with them practically 2008 onwards till 2016, and you name the foreign bank I not dealt with, JP Morgan, HSBC, Barclays, Citi, UBS, Royal Bank of Scotland, you name the bank we dealt with. I got to know that how competent are the Indian bankers. Indian bankers have only one theory, which is, you know, you just focus on your job security. Don't focus on the innovation. That is one of the reason why Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, and JP Morgan, they are competing with each year, competing with each other every year for number one position in M&A world. Sometimes Goldman wins, sometimes Morgan Stanley wins, sometimes JP Morgan wins. It happens because once you compete, but sometimes your competitor launch a better product than you, pricing is very competitive, and so on and so forth. It happens. But all three are exceptional as far as their investment banking domain is concerned. I hardly see any investment banker firm in India is really willing to have any mindset to compete with the international investment banking arena. By the way, Treasury Consulting Investment Banking test coming very soon. Number three, theory expert and B school faculties. All the students, those who just passed from the B schools, following our YouTube channel, you must have realized that the world of financial market is not taught in the business school. In business school, students are always busy in making assignments to make their teachers happy, to be in the good books of their teachers, and max to max participate in the extracurricular activities and so on and so forth. But they forget it that life is not that what they are doing. As we speak, more than 50% of the Indian graduates are sitting at home and they are jobless. The unemployment rate in India is growing. Please refer the statistics in the public domain by Center for Monitoring and Indian Economy. This is a hard truth that more than 50%, around 50% of the youngsters are sitting at home. And how many of them are getting jobs, you know? Jobs are cutting in India. Thousands of startups got closed in India. Loss making firms are forced to raise money as IPO. We know how it happens because venture capitalists raise their hands. Degree holders, my favorite CFA, Certified Financial Analyst. I know the right definition is Chartered Financial Analyst, but I always call them Certified Financial Analyst. CPA, American Institute of CPA, FRM. Very soon, our YouTube channel is starting a videos wherein we would be evaluating the CFA study material. It's just another, it's a matter of another 10-15 days, and our YouTube channel is starting that kind of videos. Asian investment bankers, business channel anchors. Especially in India, business channel anchors feel that they are, I still remember CNBC TV 18, and I posted that screenshot on the Facebook, I guess, whereby one of the anchors saying there are two type of options. One is American option and one is European option. Look like the anchor is not aware that there is one more option which is called Bermudian option. Singapore is one of the leading place for Bermudian option, whereby a huge quantity of the Bermudian option is being traded. But I guess the anchor is not aware about the same because the agenda of the anchors, they are always busy in their agenda. Indian newspaper, I have hardly seen any Indian newspaper who talks about interest rate swaps. Guys, just to conclude and move forward, as we speak in August 2021, which is practically 5 months away from the LIBOR transition. Practically speaking, the LIBOR transition starts somewhere December 2021, goes till June 2022. Statistically speaking, June 2022 is the last date of having the LIBOR transition, but I doubt it would happen because of Delta variant. That's a separate thing that you have your own computations and combinations on the Delta variant. But I have, except Bloomberg, and that too minutely, I have not seen any business channel who is really covering the LIBOR transition. Well, we posted a lot of videos about the LIBOR transition, and more videos are on the way. But LIBOR transition would be one of the biggest event in the world of banking, and I assure that many youngsters would be missing that event. It would be the most learning event in the world of financial market. The kind of learning it will give, I really doubt whether anyone in the world would be able to give that learning. Practically speaking, ARRC, Alternative Risk Rate Reference Committee, and many other leading institutions all on a regular note publicly talking about the LIBOR transition, right, wrong, whatever. But we are literally not bothered, as usual. So as we speak, the following are the kind of Swaps we do have. Number one is definitely the plain vanilla swaps. Number two, the swaptions, swap plus options. Number three, the exotic swaps. Number four, SOFR, secured overnight financing rate. Number five is the overnight index swap. Number six is the local currency swaps, like INR having some local currency swaps, Japanese yen having some local currency swap, Singapore dollar having local currency swap, almost everybody having local currency swap. Nothing wrong in that, to be honest. Forward rate agreement, cap, floor, caplets, florets, ranged, and very importantly, the iBanking swap. So why I mentioned iBanking swap at the bottom? Just to give you an example. We tend to believe that the world of investment banking is all about raising the money, raising the bonds, raising the equities, IPOs, FPOs, QIPs, and all these things. But we forget it that the investment bank world is very big. Do you know that combined income of top five investment bank firms like Goldman, JP Morgan, and all, if we add their annual investment banking income, basically the fees which they are making from investment banking is equals to the revenue of many companies in India. You add many companies in India in the so-called Nifty 500, this might not be able to tally the total fees earned by the top five investment banks in US. What would if I add the top 25 investment banks of US? Then you know what would be the answer. But I have hardly seen the world of investment banking is really scratched. We are now in very soon. So as we speak, interest rate swaps in the world are having of following types. Number one, plain vanilla swaps, swaptions, exotic swaps, SOFR, secured overnight financing rate, overnight index swaps, local currency swaps, forward rate agreements, caps, floors, caplets, flores, ranged, and hell lot of stuff. Investment banking swaps, just like floaters, quanto, reverse, and so on and so forth. It's a huge world, but unfortunately highly unexplored. We are literally not interested to explore this world. And end result, we know very well, to be very honest. So let's cover most important thing, which is overnight index swaps. Overnight index swaps is the most powerful market we have in the world except India. In India, overnight index swap never been developed. You know, after all these slides are over, I will show you the live overnight index swap of various curves, just like USD, Euro, Japanese yen, Swiss franc, and all. And you would get to know the the real depth of these curves. But before I explain what I have wrought in on the screen, let me give you a very simplistic example. Let's take an example of Reliance Industries Limited. I don't think I need to introduce what Reliance Industries Limited is. Reliance Industries Limited is having debt in the books. Now, definitely they are having foreign currency debt in the books, and in some cases they have the local currency debt in the books. Now, local currency debt means probably working capital loan, any or similar form of arrangements with the multiple banks. Reliance is a conglomerate. Being a conglomerate, they are having arrangement with almost all banks of the globe. You name it, and they are having arrangement with all banks. Rather, the big conglomerate like ExxonMobil, Reliance Industries Limited, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft, those who work almost everywhere in the world, they are having one or another form of arrangement with almost all banks of the globe. You just name it. So, assuming Mr. Ambani is having a debt of 2,000 crores in which he is paying a fixed rate of 6%, assuming. But today, interest rate is at 4%, and we all know that how fairly economy is going on. It's a matter of time that Reserve Bank of India would be cutting the interest rate by at least 25 basis point. I expect RBI to cut a rate by 25 basis point in this year. We are planning a detailed video in that regard, how this will impact the market, but 25 pips as of now, which means that Mr. Ambani is anticipating that I am paying 6% to the bank. Today market is around 4%. I am expecting 25 bips, which means 3.75%. It precisely means Mr. Ambani is paying more than 2% the to the lenders. Now, there are two options to Mr. Ambani. Either Mr. Ambani settle the whole loan and take a fresh one, which is definitely not easy because he is into the business of gestation, which means that telecommunication, retail, petroleum, which means these businesses require upfront investments and then they start giving you the money. So once you invested, it is not easy to redeem this money, you know. Now, alternate is Mr. Ambani just believe that okay, I'm paying 6%, let it be. But there is a finest option, which is without cutting the loan with the bank, which means keep the loan intact in the books of bank and of course Reliance Industries Limited. He can neutralize, I repeat, neutralize the impact of interest rate in his books. And this can be done using overnight index swaps. Now I read for you. It is the hedging of local currency asset oblique liabilities. Now, INR loan in the books of Reliance is local currency because Reliance parent company is in India. So their functional currency is INR. Loan they have taken in INR, it means it's a local currency. In local books, we are talking about Reliance Industries Limited, India books, and local country. So it is the hedging of local currency assets and liabilities in local currency books and in local country. OIS is supposed to be the deepest liquid curve in the country. We'll show you the OIS curves of various currencies, then you will make a feeling of that using Reuters. I hope you have noticed that Reuters is running at the back. Deepest OIS curve make sure corporates, pension funds, venture capitalists oblique private equity, sovereign wealth fund, banks, capital market players, money market players can hedge their exposure. Now let me take our reverse example. We all know that Geo is in the business of telecommunication and they are offering services in India, which means whatever plan they offer, broadband, or various plans, they get the money in INR. Now they are having a confirmed cash flow. It means that, you know, Reliance know that every month they get 1,000 crores as a subscription money, which includes your broadband or probably your mobile phone plans and XYZ, plus minus 5%. So 1,000 crore is the confirmed money. But Mr. Ambani is concerned that today the interest rate is 4%. Probably it may come down to 3% because Corona is going nowhere. That is also a fact. How he would be making sure that the interest income would continue to be what it is, even though interest rate fall. That can only possible using OIS. Henceforth, OIS is nothing but the hedging of local currency assets and liabilities, both. But many people do not know this about. I have hardly seen any textbook, at least in India, or any seminar in India, and of course the regulatory advice who is pushing people to go into the OIS market. Henceforth, OIS market in India is not developed. The more you would be learning once you see the screenshots, the basically the live Reuters screenshot, you will make a sense out of it. World is having around 170 plus central banks, 170. Out of 170, only 4 determines the fate of the globe. If they go, basically not determine, the better word is that their directions determine how the capital market moves. And the 4 are Federal Reserve, European Central Bank, Bank of Japan, and definitely People Bank of China. They are the 4 who, whose move determines how the world would be. All these 4 central banks, they are not only responsible for their directions, but they are also responsible for the commentary they are making in the public. That's a separate thing that the Federal Reserve commentary, which is coming in the public, is paid, and soon we have a video in that regards. But they, apart from these 4, even if I take 4, Federal Reserve, US is a fiscal deficit country. European Union, fiscal deficit country. Japan, I don't think I need to explain. Japanese government hold the largest debt in the books. Largest debt. And some research claimed that the debt is more than 200%. Although till now I have not got any research which confirm me, the year on year and the confirmed data of, I would say, the, I would say, the Japanese government debt. Chinese economy is also in the debt. Even if it is in the profit, then that debt is always a concern for Chinese economy. So we have loss-making governments. Unfortunately, gone are the days when the governments used to be positive. Even from the last 2 years, Singapore government is in the fiscal deficit. And I think that now fiscal deficit is a norm for Singapore government, which means they are not feeling shame if they can come in public and say that I'm in fiscal deficit. They are very happy to declare this. Now the loss-making governments are pushing the central bank to fund their losses. And this is a practical approach. Central banks are forced to either print the money, which of course creates inflation, or central banks are forced to raise the money from the public in the form of issuing treasury bills, treasury notes, treasury bonds, CBI linked bonds, and there are a variety of ways. Heavy borrowing is going on, including India. And by the way, we should not say India. Today, there is no country in the world who is an exception. No country in the world. All governments are raising a huge amount of money. In fact, one of the leading economists of the globe this weekend, came in public domain and said that the financial crisis more fearful than 2008 on the way because of the rising debts of the government. I'm sorry, sir, but if you don't mind, no one going to listen to us, because whatever we are saying, people don't believe it. People will only believe when it actually comes on the table. People like us warned that LIBOR is rigged, but no one believed. When they actually got to know LIBOR is rigged, then they believed. So, sir, there is no point to alarming people. This would be the only option for us. So these loss-making governments are pushing the central banks, who in turn do the heavy borrowing. Do you know, guys, the best central banks of the globe, like Federal Reserve, European Central Bank, Bank of Japan, People Bank of China, debt or no debt, but they are having competence to, I would say, they are having competence to hedge this exposure. Example, you are taking 500 million Japanese yen, 500 million Japanese yen. Don't you think that the Bank of Japan would be raising this, would be hedging this? Yes, they would be hedging this. And the hedging is done in the OIS. which is overnight index swaps. There is another thing called benchmark swaps, which you would be seeing on Reuters. So there is a dedicated IRS desk. IRS stands for Interest Rate Swaps Desk, who works practically 24 into 7. Henceforth, even though the governments are in losses, but these banks, their knowledge is making sure that they would not lose the money. That's the most important thing which we really need to understand. We need to learn the purpose of IRS market. For what purpose the interest rate swap markets are created? The purpose is hedging of short-term exposures, hedging of long-term exposures. Now, when I say short-term exposures, I mean till 1 year. When I say long-term exposure, it is still 50 years. I know you would be surprising because the way Corona is going on, many people do not know whether we survive, whether humanity will survive after 50 years or not. But I will show you that even the 50 years deals are done. Local currency exposures. I just gave you a very simplistic example of Reliance Industries Limited. We could end up having more complicated examples. Long-term pension liabilities. India also having a pension administrator, employee provident fund organization, US government also having a pension administrator, Europe also having a pension administrator, everyone having a pension administrator. They are hedging their pension liabilities. Sovereign wealth funds, China having sovereign wealth fund, CIC, Chinese Investment Corporation, Singapore having sovereign wealth fund. Most of the countries are having their sovereign wealth fund. Fixed to float and fixed, float to fixed and fixed to float, which means conversion of floating liability to fixed liability and fixed liability to floating liability. FRA, forward rate agreement to hedge projected balance sheet. These are the top purposes of IRS: hedging of short-term exposure, hedging of long-term exposure, local currency exposures, long-term pension funding, sovereign wealth fund asset and liabilities, float to fixed, fixed to float, FRA to hedge the projected balance sheet. The following are the participants in IRS markets. We have G7 banks, top banks who are covering their ALM exposures. Now, ALM stands at asset liability management exposures. If you look at the 10K of all the top banks like Goldman, JP Morgan Chase, HSBC, they are nothing more than a book, knowledgeable books rather. And they are giving appropriate hints to their ALM, which is asset liability management. But unfortunately, if you look at the annual reports of Indian banks, then they are nothing but the trash. They are giving no information what you get in the 10K. The biggest players in the IRS markets are the G7 banks. Next, we have the pension funds. We have the pension funds across the globe, those who are covering trillions of dollars of exposures. Every human being, whether you are a business class or a salaried class, you save some money for your future, for your kids, various pension plans. That's an unfortunate fact that these pension funds are in shortfall, which means that these pension funds are the total liabilities they have as of now. If we compare with the total asset, then they are in the shortfall. But that's a realistic situation, right? But pension funds are also the largest player as far as the IRS market is concerned. Then we have the venture capitalist and the private equity player. They are the one who cover their investments in so-called unicorns. Then we have sovereign wealth funds who cover their long-dated funding requirements based on either government or external funding. Let's take an example of GIC, which is a sovereign wealth fund of Singapore. If you look at their balance sheet, you will get the realistic look how sovereign wealth fund perform. Participants in the pension funds are huge. We have corporates, we have small banks, we have insurance companies, non-banking financial corporations. But if you look at holistically, then the top participants are G7 banks, pension funds, venture capitalists and the private equity players, sovereign wealth fund, and many others. One is known as IRS Bespoke. Now, what is Bespoke? Now, just like we know that there are many automobile companies we have worldwide, we have a company called Ferrari. Now, what is the difference between Ferrari and other automobile companies? The difference is that Ferrari makes models as per the customer requirement. So, example, you are a customer of Ferrari, you go to them and ask, I need a model which this configuration, they will make it for you. Of course, the charges would be much higher than what you anticipate because they, of course, need a high-end engineering to get this done. But there are many automobile companies who make one product and they will say, guys, if you are interested, buy. If you are not interested, forget. Simple. This is the only thing which we have. Customization, you do yourself. We are not here to do the customization. Similarly, in the IRS market, interest rate swap market, we have standard swaps, which means that you agree with the pricing or you do not agree with the pricing. That is your problem. It is not the problem of the market. But we have bespokes. Bespoke is a derivative which is designed by a bank for a special purpose, for a special client, and keeping asset liability mismatch in mind, not management mismatch in mind. If tomorrow anyone asks you what is ALM, the standard reply would be asset liability management, but in reality, it would be asset liability mismatch also. We have direct bespokes who are created by G7 banks, but hardly any information in the public domain. Somewhere in 2008, these banks used to publish their annual, these some special guides. I have few for my self learning, but now this tradition is stopped, especially after Lehman. This tradition is completely stopped. Then you have Quanto Bespoke, which means that you are entering in dollar terms, but you exit in GBP terms. Then you have a reverse bespoke, which is the highly complicated. Reverse bespoke means if things go up, you lose. If things go down, you gain. As we speak, I doubt whether there is any course which we have who dealing with bespokes. But as we speak, interest rate swap market is one of the strongest market we have in the world, and bespoke is one of them. Unfortunately, ability to create bespoke is very limited worldwide because most of the people do not know how to create the bespoke. Rather, I doubt people know about bespoke. That is also a problem. But in IRS market, we do have bespoke. That is also a very important fact. Now, guys, look, this is the live Reuters screen. And in this live Reuters screen, you would be looking at the, the IRS curve, which is interest rate swap curve. Just check it out. This is USD IRS curve. You can see here that the date is 8th August 2021, and you can see here also that the trading is done in most of the curve 8th August 2021. And you can see that the USD curve IRS interest rate swap curve is one of the most deepest and liquid curve we have in the world. Just check it out, guys. They are having a pricing till 1 point till 50 years. You can see yourself 50 years. And the last deal done for 50-year is 7th August 4:30 Singapore timing because the computer is set at Singapore timing. This is USD IRS. All those Einstein, Edisons, Newtons, Graham Bell, those who continue to fight for inflation, even on the Bloomberg TV and especially on the Indian media, they have never seen this screen. The first priority of any central bank is to make sure that we would be able to have a very strong IRS curve. Until otherwise you have an IRS curve, the currency will never grow. Now let me show you the Euro IRS curve. In this Euro IRS curve, you can clearly see that it is 8th August. You can see that even on 8th, the deals are done. This is Society Journal. This is Ariste Bank. See, 8th August. And here it is also 50 years. 50. See yourself. It is 50 years. And the last deal for the 50 years done 7th August around near about 11:30 p.m. Singapore. Just check it out, guys. How liquid are the curves? 50 years. Again, repeat. We don't know whether Corona will go or not. We really do not know how this shape up. But one thing we know very well is that these curves are here to stay. Somebody dealt for 50 years on 7th August, which means the deal to be settled in 2071, because today is 2021. Let's talk about Japanese yen IRS curve. Check this guide. This is Japanese yen IRS curve, and it is again 40 years. At many places it is negative, and I already told that we have a negative curve now. And the last deal done is the 7th August. In the short part of the curve, some deals are done today, which is 8th August. Check this out. Then I show you Swiss franc IRS curves. This is Swiss franc, which is still 30 years. Check this out. Even on the 8th, the last deal done on the 6th of August. See the deal done on the for 30 years, which means 2051 maturity. Then I show you Australian dollar IRS curve. It is again for 30 years. Check. And the last deal done on the 7th August. After looking at this curve, we need to understand practically, like the example I gave, human being might not be able to understand the gravity of the Lord. Lord is too big. And it is impossible for a human being to understand the Lord. Similarly, when it comes to interest rate swap, I doubt whether any textbook in the world would be able to answer it in an appropriate way because it is too big. Now I showed you the OIS curves. Say, let's start with USD OIS curve. Overnight index swap curve, you can see that. This is the bid side, which means hedging of assets. This is the ask side, which means the hedging of liabilities. Check, guys, 50 years. 50 years. And see yourself that the last deal done on 7th of August. 35 years deal done, 35 years deal, see this, done on 8th of August. Check EuroOIS. Check, 30 years. The last deal done, 6th August. Check GBP OIS. 60 years. 60 years. Check this, guys. Yourself. 60 years. Which means 2081. And the last deal done on 6th August. 60 years. Now I show you Indian curve. Check. We are very busy in listening to the paid speakers on business media. Those who continue to repeat the same things. Nifty will go to 90,000, Bank Nifty go to 1 lakh, Sensex touch 2 lakhs, like these kind of statements. We hardly worry about these things. That is one of the reasons why when it comes to valuation of the financial instrument, our knowledge is very strong. Because we are ourselves not interested. Had I told you theoretically that GBP IRS curve is 60 years, sorry, OIS curve is 60 years, while India is 10 years, nobody would have trusted me. I show you Japanese yen OIS curve, then Swiss franc. Yeah, you take it AUD OIS, Australian dollar OIS curve. Check. Check it out. Chinese yuan OIS code. It is not there. Check CAD OIS code. Check any currency, you name it. Now I show you the benchmark code. This is Indian rupee benchmark code. This is the benchmark code. This is, let me show you the US benchmark code. Let me show you the Europe benchmark code. Similarly, we have around many country benchmark. Now let me show you the main heading benchmarks. Check this out. You have Australia, Belgium, Britain, Bulgaria, Croatia, Cyprus, Denmark, Europe, Finland, France, Germany, Great Britain, and almost everybody benchmark curves we have. To conclude the discussion, the world of interest rate swaps is very big, and it would continue to be more big once the world practically shifts from LIBOR to SOFR and other interest rate benchmark reforms. And I'm sure that we are not interested learning anything out of it. Have a great time ahead. Now, choice is yours. You would continue with the textbook or the practical knowledge. But before I conclude, please do remember that around 500,000 plus jobs, 500,000 plus jobs cut in the banking sector in the last 5 years. And US Bank closed 250 branches during first half of 2021. And this is on 15th of July. Like the ice is melting very fast in Antarctica and Greenland, and unfortunately, humanity is completely ignorant about this issue, as usual. Similarly, the day would come when the banking jobs would only be in the books because banking is changing at a much faster pace. I again repeat, and then we close this video. LIBOR transition is one of the most significant learning event we have in the world. And I'm sure that 99% of the people would be missing this event because either they are not aware or they are continue following the media. But do remember that just few days ago, US banks closed 250 branches. Just assume one branch having 50 people, then more than 1,000 jobs cut. And this would happen in Asia also very soon. Thank you very much, guys. And now it's the end of the video. We have uploaded a separate video about Treasury Consulting Group. You can have a look. And thank you very much. And we definitely talk soon. God bless you and have a great time ahead. This is the video which is dedicated to the Treasury Consulting Group. And to be very honest, we are keeping this video now onwards at the end of every YouTube video. And all the courses by OTT Academy and Treasury Consulting Group. There are many questions people generally raised about Treasury Consulting, the products, the services, and we reply these questions on WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and variety of forums. But the quantity of questions, the queries are continuously increasing. Henceforth, we decided to make a video. Of course, this is not the only video which we are making. Rather, over the period of the time, we would continue to upgrade this video, to be precise. First of all, Treasury Consulting Group is a multinational headquartered group. We are based out India, Singapore, and Hong Kong. As we speak, company is around 5 years plus old, and more importantly, we are 100% cash rich company. Unlike the so-called unicorns, without quoting the name, and even if I quote the name, it's a fact that they never touch the profit. The company is in profits from inception. So since inception, the company is in profit. So we are a 100% cash rich group, 0% venture capitalist, and 0% debt. More importantly, our legal entities invest our free cash with mutual funds and international banks across the globe. We are a client to almost top 10 mutual funds in India. And that is the reason we do have holistic information about the mutual fund industry in India. That's a separate thing, that majority of the information never comes in public domain. Even if a fraction of the information comes in public domain, this fraction of information come for one day and then you know how it happens. So as we speak, we do have three legal entities: India, Singapore, and Hong Kong. More importantly, we are a cash rich group and we are having 0%, which means not a single cent invested by any venture capitalist or private equity firm. The company has not taken debt from any bank, financial institution, or hedge fund. So we are a zero debt company. That is something which we need to understand very holistically. The following are the products and services we do have about Treasury consulting. The more detail is coming at the as the video progress. We have our own proprietary hedge fund. Many people in the world do not understand the meaning of proprietary. The proprietary means no party outside Treasury consulting can invest in our hedge fund, which means that we trade with our own money. We are not accepting anybody's money. Even if you give us any amount of money, any proposal on the table, it is completely rejectable. So proprietary is a word which is often used in United States and Europe, but unfortunately this is least used in India. The proprietary means people trade their own money. They do not trade somebody's money. Even if tomorrow, after listening this video, you come to us and say that I give you $1 million to trade my money, I will say thank you very much. We are literally not interested. We hold our own proprietary fund, and that fund would continue to be proprietary, which means that the outside participation would continue to be zero forever. This fund includes the equities desk, the commodities desk. We have our virtual comics platform. More importantly, we have our OTT Academy. OTT stands at over the top, just like we are having Amazon Prime, we are having Netflix, Disney. There are so many, OTT platform we have worldwide. Our OTT platforms is not as big because they started 6 months ago, but thankfully we are having handful of customers and they are growing. In our OTT platform, we are creating video and uploading at the back end of our platform. People with authorized login ID and password can see these videos. Apart from that, no one else is authorized to see these videos. As the video progresses, you will get to know that as we are having around 13 plus, which is 13 plus different series as far as the OTT platform is concerned. As we speak, August 2021, it is 13 plus and we are continuously adding more series. Our idea is very clear. We will reach to 35 or probably 40 series in another 1.5 years of time. We are having our learning arm, which is Sheetal Academy. The details of the Sheetal Academy is given at the end of the video. We have our own family office desk. Rather, very soon, our hedge fund would be a part of our family office. We have our own pension fund desk in terms of consulting. And there are 62 plus different platforms which are listed on our fixed income platform, which is www.fixedincometrader.com.
fixedincome.global. So as we speak, we have our proprietary hedge fund, we have our equities desk, we have our commodities desk, we have our virtual comics platform, our OTT Academy, our penny stock desk, Sheetal Academy, family office, pension fund, and variety of such platforms. TRFX Academy, which is our OTT platform, over the top platform. This platform is having 13 plus series. Now, few I mentioned, basic series, moderate series, advanced series, valuation series, treasury series, wealth management platform. Wealth management platform is actually integrated with TRFX Academy and would continue to be integrated because of course we would be investing heavily in the wealth management platform. When we speak about wealth management platform, we speak about the learnings. We are not talking about the trading. There is a difference. It's a training platform, remember this. We have 13 plus different series, like few are basic series, moderate series, valuation series, advanced series, treasury series, research and analysis series, and we have variety of such series. So please do remember that. As we speak, we have around 180 plus videos live. Every week we shot 10 videos. So every month we are adding around 40 to 50 videos, and it will we keep adding more and more videos as the time would come. The target is very clear that we would be having more than 2000 plus videos probably in another 2 years of time, which means a dedicated private platform for learnings. So what is the wealth management platform? A wealth management platform is designed to cover all asset classes of the globe. The asset classes includes the fixed income, currencies, commodities, credit derivatives, structured derivatives, and many more. So I repeat, a wealth management platform is designed to cover all asset classes of the globe. Wealth management platform is also designed to cover continent-wise topic. Continents are United States, Europe, AXI, Asia excluding India. We have excluded India because the financial markets in India are very, very shallow. Very shallow. Like if you speak MTN, medium term notes, if you speak about any exotic derivatives, nowhere people are taking this. In fact, you know that I worked as a corporate treasurer. Even today, 99% of the treasury function in India are working as a cost center. Hardly 1% are working as a profit center. Hardly 1%, to be honest. So the continent-wise include United States, Asia excluding India, Asia excluding Japan, India and Japan, global financial centers like Singapore, Dubai, Hong Kong, Luxembourg, Switzerland, and respective, and of course Latin America. We are creating a wealth management platform which would be covering everything. Example, CDS, credit derivatives. India is not a market of credit derivatives. Reserve Bank of India on paper allowing credit derivatives, but neither we have buyer nor we have sellers of credit derivative. So on paper you have credit derivative, but practically you don't have the credit derivative in place. Henceforth, we really need to understand that if we wanted to talk about credit derivative, the only markets are US, Europe, or Singapore. India was not a market, is not a market, and would continue to be because we are doing nothing substantial to create a credit derivative market in India. That's the reason, even after a lot of frauds which are happening, banks are just writing off the money from their books. Simply writing off the money from their books. Had it been the credit derivative, banks would be able to get their money back. But once again, if you talk about this issue, people don't understand because they are not interested to have this. Anyways, a wealth management platform designed to cover all asset classes of the globe. And very soon, this wealth management platform would link with our fixed income platform, which is www.fixedincome.global. And of course, we would be adding crypto as well. That is most important. We are planning around 1000 plus wealth management videos by December 2022, which would be covering continents like United States, Europe, Japanese market, Asian markets, global financial centers, Latin America, the tax havens like Bermuda, BVI, Caribbean, and respective, and structured finance, my favorite. 1000 plus videos would be covering almost everything as far as the wealth management is concerned. We would be covering a very simplistic and the plain vanilla topic. At the same time, we would be covering the exotic topic also. So basically, our wealth management platform is for the people, those who are having zero knowledge, and it is also for the people, those who are having advanced knowledge. Please understand that. It is not designed for the people, those who only have basic knowledge, or the people who wanted to have exotic knowledge. People with the basic, moderate, or advanced, they all can participate. This is our TRFX Academy, a screenshot taken from our fixed income platform. This TRFX Academy is our OTT platform, which is over the top platform. And in this TRFX Academy, we are of course interlinking the wealth management platform also. I promise you, probably in another 1 to 2 years of time, we would be adding a lot of content in our wealth management platform and of course our TRFX Academy. Only people with the login ID and the password can enter into this platform, and of course on a weekly basis we are trying to have at least around 10 plus videos, so that we would be able to reach to the target as far as the December 2022 is concerned, and we are committed to it, sir, to be honest. Treasury Consulting Group having own learnings platform, which is known as Sheetal Academy. As we speak, Sheetal Academy is covering around 13 plus schools. Few are mentioned here. The World of Options, Option Worlds, School of Nifty and Bank Nifty, School of Investment Banking, School of Venture Capitalist and Private Equity, School of Commodities, School of Accounting, School of Foreign Exchange, School of Treasury and Risk Management, School of Forensics, and more schools are coming. Before I change the slide, the purpose of Sheetal Academy is to create a learning platform which link with Thomson, Reuters, and Bloomberg. We know that we have many learning academies worldwide, and I challenge all learning academy, how many of them are actually linked with Reuters and Bloomberg? I often share Reuters and Bloomberg screenshots on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Twitter. Hardly I see, in fact, limited people in the world are sharing the Reuters and the Bloomberg platform screenshots, because the question is, it requires a very deep and dense knowledge. Once you are sharing the screenshots, people generally ask questions from you, and you should have a knowledge to reply. That is more important thing. Very soon we have more schools coming. So as we speak, we are having Option World, Nifty, Bank Nifty, School of Investment Banking, School of Venture Capitalist and Private Equity, School of Commodities, School of Accounting, School of Foreign Exchange, School of Treasury and Risk Management, School of Forensics. The other schools are School of Trade Finance, School of Regulatory, School of Treasury Technologies, Functional Training. We have functional trainings, forensic trainings, information technology trainings, regulatory trainings, and technological trainings. As we speak, around 200 plus trainings are listed. More trainings are coming over the period of the time. All these trainings and everything are integrated with our fixed income platform. You visit our fixed income platform and you would be able to get all trainings and all information here. Apart from that, we provided you the WhatsApp number. You just WhatsApp if you have any query, and in most of the cases we reply if we feel that the query is genuine. So the Sheetal Academy is a platform whose job is to provide practical and industry oriented knowledge. Of course, we link with Thomson Reuters, Bloomberg TV, and many international magazines, international books, and so on and so forth to provide you as practical training. You visit our YouTube channel. In fact, the video you just listened, you can compare this video with any other YouTube channel and rest you know. Apart from that, we just launched our TCG Video World. What is that? We have people, those who working day night in their respective jobs. Some are engineers, some are finance people and all. They don't have time to attend the regular one-to-one trainings. I agree that they need video trainings, like the content shot in the video delivered to them, and as and when they get time, they listen to it. We launched our TCG Video World, Treasury Consulting Group Video World. In this video world, we have decided to have 100 plus topics, 5 already done as we speak. As we speak, 5 video trainings are live, pay and get. The only time need is the time to upload on Telegram groups. Every training at least 1 hour or 2 hours. It is a video training, so it is not a one-to-one training. Videos are recorded, you get the videos, recorded videos. Videos to be upload in the Telegram groups, because Telegram gives you the privilege to upload 2 GB of video. Whenever we feel that the video length is big, we request people to share their Gmail IDs. They can create their fresh Gmail ID and we upload the video in their Gmail ID. Which so that because Telegram as we speak is giving a privilege of only 10 GB, 2 GB. This TCG Video Worlds covering advanced trainings, moderate trainings, and basic trainings. So basic trainings, advanced trainings, moderate trainings. Please note my next word carefully. All basic trainings would be 2000, which means you choose any topic of basic, you get at 2000. Moderate and advanced training pricing depend upon content to content. So I repeat, TCG Video World is a platform when you have 100 plus topic, 5 already live, 2 hours video training. It's a video training to be uploaded in the Telegram group. If we need more space, we request for Gmail ID. Advanced trainings, moderate trainings, and basic trainings. Please do remember this. And this is live. This platform is well integrated with our fixed income platform, www.fixedincome.global. So this is well integrated with our fixed income platform. This is a glimpse of our hedge fund desk. Like I made myself very clear upfrontly that no third party in the whole world can enter in this platform, which means that we do not trade somebody's money. We only trade our own money. So no third party can enter in our platform. This is only for ours, but this platform covers equity desk. This platform covers scalping group. This platform covers commodities desk, comics platform, penny stock desk, silver scalping fund, which we just started, and more importantly, the Asian desk where we're covering Singapore and all, and the digital gold. More product we would be launching in this hedge fund, but I will again repeat, no third party except Treasury Consulting can enter in this fund. This is not for outsiders. This is our prop hedge fund, which is completely designed for the organization, by the organization. No third party is allowed. And we are very limited companies in the world, those who are running the profitable hedge fund. Our income and everything is really good, but we do not trade somebody's money. These are our credentials. You know my handheld number 9899242978. These are our WhatsApp numbers, our platform www.fixedincome.global, email ID rahul.magan@treasuryconsulting.in or info@treasuryconsulting.in. I assure you, probably in another 1 year of time, we would have more than 100 plus different platforms across the globe. Company would continue to be cash rich. We never allow any venture capitalist to enter in our company because we know the side effects of that. And we continue to add lots of products and services. In case you wish to have any information, these are all the credentials. Thank you guys and have a great time ahead.